Good evening. So I'm back, and today we're gonna do some Morrigan Incense. Morrigan is the Celtic goddess of the underworld, of battle, of lust, and stuff, protection, and a lot of good things. We'll discuss Morrigan in a later video, more in depth. But today we're gonna just do the incense. So don't start panicking. No blood is required. No meat. No child sacrifice. Nothing. Because, like I said in an earlier video, sorry. Like I said in an earlier video, infos on the Morrigan are extremely hard to find, and most of the information that you find requires leaving like raw meat on the altar, blood offerings, menstrual blood, like if you have no other resort. But you all know, well, those of you who have cats know that try to leave something on the altar without the cat actually trying to play with it or making a mess. So, okay, for the incense, what you're gonna need is sea salt. And before we begin, the music that you're hearing, it's the music from Black Butler, the character soundtrack for Undertaker. I just love that character. He's just so happy. Yep, sea salt. Working with cab. Cinnamon. Sorry. Benzoin. Dragon's blood. Rose petals. Grape leaves. And, of course, lavender. I took the recipe from a book, the book Halloween from Silver Ravenwolf. It's the Morgana's Blessing incense, but I slightly modified it because it asks for half a cup of, no, one fourth of a cup of sea salt, and I think it's a little too much, but that's my taste. And I added the grape leaves. So, also what you're gonna need is a mortar, pestle and mortar. Sorry. And I don't know if you can see, just a second. Working with the webcam. See if I can show it to you. Hold on a second, I'm gonna get it. I don't know if you guys can see it, maybe a little more like that. I painted a Triskelion on my mortar and pestle to dedicate it to the Morrigan. I will do the same thing with the mortar and pestle to Akari, but that's gonna be later, and that's just me, you know. Also, what I like to do with my incense, what I didn't do in the two other videos, is to take a bowl and a spoon, and each ingredient I put in the bowl and I stir like that. I'm able to see, well, because cinnamon smells a lot, so, and I don't, cinnamon smells good, but too much cinnamon, I don't like it, so it helps me gauge the whole thing. So there, and I also already lighted my working kettle, and it's just a second, I'm gonna show you. Working novena with the Triskelion, like this. I painted that on the novena because when I do work with one goddess or one god, I like to have symbols of that divinity around. So basically, sorry. I know, Morrigan's colors are red and black, not orange, but I got that during the time of Halloween, and I thought, well, it was going to look good on my altar for Halloween, and I kind of want it like that. But still, I think it's pretty. Anyway, so for the incense, I got a recipe right here. Yup. So, like I said, the original recipe asks for 1/4 of a cup. Um, me personally, I think it's a little too much, so I'm going to put 2. 2 teaspoons, 1 spoonful, and 2. That should be enough. And also, the original recipe asks for the ingredient to be finely crushed. Personally, I don't really mind. So, okay. Yes, the Morrigan. Well, she's a goddess of war, like I already said, the underworld. Her animals are ravens and crows, mostly. And I remember when I was a little girl, where my dad used to live, every morning I'd wake up with the ravens or the crows screaming outside. And when I moved out, I was so sad because I couldn't hear them anymore. And now, every time I walk outside and I hear a crow or a raven, well, it makes me think of her. So, well, that's me. So, okay, I'm almost done with the salt. The fun stuff. The fun part of making incense, running this stuff. So, yep, that's pretty. Yeah, the original recipe asked for almost everything to be very, very, very finely crushed. I don't really mind. So, that depends on how you like it. So there. That's my salt. After that, I'm adding the cinnamon on the back completely, at the end completely, like that I can gauge better. Benzoin. I got some finely powdered benzoin right here. Sorry. So there. So let me just go verify. 2 tablespoons tea salt, cinnamon to taste. 1/2 tablespoon benzoin resin. Resin. So that's about it. Yep. There. Oops. After that, the dragon's blood. And I just love the smell of dragon blood. It smells so good. Dragon blood, it's just a second, the fun part of having it on the computer. 1 teaspoon dragon blood. So, there. And I add just a little more because, to me, the dragon blood is Morgan's sacred herb, as I don't like to offer real blood, but the name says it, blood. But once again, that's me. So how did I came in contact with Morgan? Quite honestly, she came to me about a year and something ago, and I resisted. I resisted with all everything I had because I was scared because all the information that I could gather on her were about blood and about the fact that she literally demanded blood sacrifices. I'm not sure. I got a history of, you know, anyways. So, not exactly willing to give blood to a goddess or anything. And, well, I think it's enough to scare anybody to go over the internet and read something about a goddess that literally asks you to, in some videos, she actually, in some websites, it actually has to be your own blood, so you have to self-arm and put the blood there in a bowl or anything, and in others you can take like a piece of meat and squeeze the blood out of it, or in some others it has to be menstrual blood. And I went on a couple of pagan websites where they all went, oh yeah, well, what did you expect? Or even I had to give it blood substitute like corn syrup with red and blue food coloring. So you look at that and you're like, not sure. But I was able to get some good information from somebody who is actually a priest of Morrigan. So he was able to show me that she wasn't that scary of a goddess. She is kind of scary, but she's not like crawl on your feet, crawl on your knees, scary, you know. Okay. So there for the rose petals. After that, grape leaves. I love grape leaves. It smells so good. So just a second. And they're very dry, so it's even more better. So it crushes very fast. There, nope. There. And the lavender. Once again, from the lavender, I'm doing them publicity. And the lavender is supposed to be like barely crushed, but then again, my version of it, it's depending on the how you like it. So there, we add that to our little mixture, and for the cinnamon, let's see. Now, you stir. Fun part, stirring. Oh, it smells so good. No kidding. So, yep, smells great, and this is what it looks like. Put the computer down. This is what it looks like, and I wish one day they can create something like smell-o-vision because it smells so good. So there. This is how I make my Morrigan Incense. Stay tuned. A book review about craft. So see you guys in a minute. Dark blessings.